Good morning, sunrisers, and welcome to Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2018. Vicki, would you lead us in the pledge?
I would be glad to. Please face the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have an announcement to make. Al was going to be doing the thought for the day. Louis and Al and I and our wives were at an event on Sunday, and Al was not feeling well. He didn't even come in to the cabaret and enjoy the event. He went out and sat in the car. We went back out and checked on him a couple of times. Turned out our good friend Al had a heart attack.
Oh, no!
Yeah, he is okay. He went in, he got an angiogram, and then Louis tells me he just got a stent later. So everybody keep Al in your thoughts, and now that he's got the stent and he's back home, feel free to contact him and let him know that we love him and are thinking about him and care about him. And Anthony, yeah. But I had a thought for the day. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. Martin Luther King Jr. So this is both Black History Month and Valentine's Day, so I thought that was important. Joe, would you lead us in a song?
Do we have anything appropriate for today?
Do we have anything appropriate?
I think it's the only one we really know, but we have the words. Thank you, Joe. Everybody ready?
Ready.
Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. Let me hear you whisper that you love me too. Keep the love light glowing in your eyes so true. Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you.
Before you sit down, shake a hand, greet your neighbor, give somebody a hug. It's Valentine's Day. Show some love.
This is like auto 3D.
And a thank you this morning to this morning's greeters, Paula Page and Marty Webb. Marty, did you remember that your task this morning was to be a greeter at the door?
No.
Did you have to have a reminder?
Yes, I did.
What do you think that's worth, folks?
$25.
$50.
Well, we'll go easy on it. We'll $10.
Definitely.
Marty Webb, $10. And thank you to this morning's mic team. I had Scott Hensey and Linton, and then Linton was a little late, and so I passed it off to Bob, but Bob, you can pass it back to Linton.
Wow.
Do we have any visiting Rotarians this morning? President-elect.
We do indeed.
It's with great pleasure that I would ask all of us to welcome today Gene Nelson from the Noon Club, our speaker. Look forward to the talk. And also, returning President Emeritus Ken Grant, wherever you are. Hey, Ken, great to see you. I think that's it.
Morning, Ken. Welcome home. And do we have any guests this morning? I would like to introduce my guest this morning. Maxine, would you like to stand? Good. I caught her with a mouthful of food. Good.
You forgot to say it. Let me call you sweetheart. I can't remember your name. I think that's a fine, man.
Great, thanks a lot, baby. Other guests?
Linton, 18.
No watching the food while you're working here.
Keep your hands out of your pockets, pal.
My guest this morning, more than a guest, my wife of 41 years, 41 and a half years, Sue.
Morning, Sue. And Andrea. What? Again, no new pictures, but do you have any thoughts for us? Any new experiences this last week?
Well, I'm going to Alcatraz this weekend. Alcatraz?
Alcatraz.
Yeah. And today we have our soccer playoff game.
Oh, good.
And we'll probably lose, but it's in Pioneer at 3:30 if anyone wants to stop by.
Great. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, pin check, except this is a special pin check. Patrick, would you like to talk about this? Patrick? That's you. Got him with his mouth full.
Glass of champagne. We have to get a call to go up.
Wow, what a crab feed we had over at Holy Ghost Hall, supporting our fellow club.
Who all made it to the crab feed?
Who all made it to the crab feed? Keep your hands up.
Look at that. Great.
If you keep your hand up. If you were not wearing a pin, please keep your hand up.
Oh, yeah, right.
Including you.
No, I had a pin. All right, well, there you go. These are the folks. Excuse me, President-elect, I want to see it up there high.
I want to see your
No, I was wearing a pin.
Yeah, but
I had a sunrise pin on.
I did not see it.
Sunrise pin. Well,
He did. He
Thank
did.
you very much. Okay, find yourselves, please.
So that's $10 each for Brian and Matt and Bill.
Not me. You were there?
Oh, thank you, Larry. Honesty is the best policy.
Okay.
And the biggest master of arms that we've ever had is coming around to shake you down.
Mr. President, I think you should fine him for making the fine when he's not the president.
Or the
He's
I
fine secretary.
I didn't make a fine.
I asked him to do it because I felt so much guilt for the fact that I wasn't wearing my pin.
Are you
And none of those were funny. Okay, Bill's Beetle Tie of the Week. Take a look.
Okay, I'm rich now.
What is it?
Let's talk about a loan.
All you need is love.
Oh. Let me shut off the music. Okay. Yep. P.S. I love you. Treasure these few words while we're together. Keep all my love forever. P.S. I love you.
I'm not sure that
Okay.
sign goes with that.
Louis.
Me too.
I want to hold your hand.
Microphone to Louis, please.
So where's the 18?
18's not on today, obviously.
Well, we got a little bit of mix up. We made an announcement. I want to make an announcement sent out by email about the event. Unfortunately, Michael was out traveling and Bill couldn't get it out in time. But the Laguna stewards have cleanups once a month someplace. And the Elemental kids found it, and they wanted to go, and they put it together. So Bill and I actually got out there with them. There was 7 of them, and we cleaned up an awful lot of blackberries.
Use Roundup, Louis?
Should have seen our arms the next day, all shredded with thorns and
No Roundup?
No Roundup.
no Roundup.
Man,
This is
The old
Sebastopol.
fashioned.
they rounded it up.
So anyway, next month, I'll have more time to announce. I'd like to see if we could join them and either help clean up so that they could meet us and maybe pair up instead of being with themselves. They each one pair up with one of our club members and get to meet them. And then I'm looking to see if possibly we might have a lunch right after the event, 9/12. It's going to be out near the waste treatment plant by Lana Road. And
Is that on the?
yeah.
Give the date.
You gotta hold it up a little higher.
Okay, oh, I think there is towards me. For the next one on the 17th would be St. Patrick's Day, and maybe we can sponsor a little picnic afterwards so the kids can stay, and then we can talk to them without working and sweating and whatever we do. So, thank you.
This is one of the guys raking up the big piles of all the blackberries that we cut down. They also had a great big thing for ripping big blackberry roots out of the ground. That was fun. So, what happened this day in history besides the fact that it's Valentine's Day? This day in history, the gentleman on your left side, his name was Elisha Gray, and he walked into the patent office and filed a patent for the telephone. Y'all remember Elisha Gray, right? Yeah. Unbelievably, the same day, Alexander Graham Bell walked into the patent office and filed a patent for the telephone as well. There is actually some dispute as to who arrived first, but in the courts they decided it was Alexander Graham Bell, and the Bell system and all of that, it could have been the Gray system. And Pat Gray and all the other baby Grays, but it turned out to be Alexander Graham Bell. This day in history, 1876. What famous persons were born on February 14th? This is the birthday of Margaret E. Knight. Margaret Knight was one of the first, some claims say the first, but there's disputed as well. One of the first women ever to receive a patent from the patent office. She was born in 1838. Over her lifetime, she was awarded 87 patents. And I worked for several large construction companies that, you know, it was a big deal to get 10 or 20 patents. And to file 87 different patents is amazing. She was also inducted into the Inventors Hall of Fame. What are some of the patents she invented? The first one, she was working in a textile factory that had looms, and one of the looms came loose and went flying out and hit somebody and almost killed them. So she invented something to make sure that that didn't happen again. She also invented a machine that folds and glues flat-bottom paper bags. The same paper bag design is still used today that we all use for shopping bags. She also invented a machine for cutting out the soles of shoes. She invented machines to help, she invented things to go on the rotary engine. We think of the Wankel rotary engine or the Mazda engine. She had inventions for that back in the early 1800s. She invented something for improvements on the internal combustion engine in 1903, back when those engines were first being produced. How many people knew of Margaret Knight?
Bruce does. Bruce, he was there.
He dated her. So anyway, a famous person in history that hardly anybody knows about. What about Rotarian birthdays? Well, we don't have any Rotarians this week, but we do have Susan Lloyd Raymond's birthday on the 12th.
And he's here.
David? Yes.
It was her birthday on the 12th.
Yes.
She's born on a holiday. Good.
And what did you do for her?
No, I did something special. I just forget what it was.
What do you think that's worth? It must not have been too special if you can't even remember it, right?
We went out, we did something great. I forget what it was. So long ago.
It's 2 days ago, David.
Okay.
We're on a house tour.
Let's call her up. Can I use a call?
Lifeline?
Can I call a friend? Yeah, it's a lifeline. We did. Yeah, we went out. We did something. Yeah, on Facebook. So I'm in trouble now.
No, we'll let you off the hook. Besides, you're paid up. So, thank you. So that's all we have for birthdays this week. But we do have a special anniversary. Bill Ludius.
Oh, he didn't remember.
How romantic is that? He married his wife on Valentine's Day. And today is their 25th anniversary.
It was a small ceremony. It was just the two of us. We eloped.
Nice.
Yeah. We drove to Canada. Oh. Went to Victoria.
Was it legal?
So what are your big plans for this weekend?
Well, you know,
lovely bride.
Our lives kind of suck because January we have like 4 birthdays. So it's just cluster of activity. February we have our anniversary, and then next week I have a birthday. So we're going to take a long weekend and spend it together.
Oh, good idea.
She's got Monday off, and we're gonna play. We're gonna wear. We're gonna figure it out. So that's our plan.
Roseland. Come on. Yeah, ready?
Well, for 25 years, 25 bucks.
No!
Yeah, $5.
There goes the
Elaine Campbell, I've been waiting for 4 or 5 weeks to do this for you. It was your Rotary anniversary back in January, and I've missed a couple. We had a couple where it was so busy I didn't get to fit these in.
Yeah, the whole
And then you
story.
missed a few.
The whole story is like I joined Rotary in 1990. The Spanish group club, and then Bruce started this club in 1997. And I waited 5 years to come over. I wanted to make sure it was going to be a success. So I think I have a total of about 27 years of experience. 2 years.
Thank you, Elaine. That'll be $5 for your Rotary anniversary. And again, John Belletto isn't here, so we'll talk about him later on. But I do have another one for both Bruce and Helene together. What's this picture, guys?
Governors.
Del Raby.
I'm not going to stand up, I'm going to sit here.
That's fine.
What you're seeing here is a group of past, current, and future governors attending a lunch over in Santa Rosa that the current president of Rotary International came up to support the Rotarians who lost homes in the Tubbs and Nuns fire. It was a great turnout. One of the things that our current governor did was to see that any of the Rotarians who lost Rotary recognition in terms of Paul Harris pins and certificates, let them replaced. So it was a good time for everybody, and that's a very overweighted picture. Too much brass in that picture.
How good a time was it, Bruce? Was it like $20 worth of a good time?
Yeah!
Easily.
25.
No, we'll go easy on him. 20 for Bruce and well, what's this breakfast worth? This has got to be worth 50. $20 bucks. Thank you, Bruce. So, announcements. We have a board meeting this coming Monday. By the way, yes, it is a holiday, it's President's Day, but we still will be having a board meeting. Announcement will go out later today along with some notes and things. Bruce has an announcement to make, and there are flyers on your table.
Thank you. I got involved in something through a rather roundabout way, seeing a poster up on the Vietnamese restaurant down next to the PT place. The North Bay Rapid Response Network is a group of people who have gotten together and working with rapid response networks around the world to ensure that we abide by our own rules. I think any of you who have been paying attention to the news know that this wonderful organization that we refer to as ICE has far set beyond its boundaries in a number of cases. And what we are doing is providing a way of tracking that, not interfering, not getting involved, but documenting any ICE activity that happens in this area. On the table is a little flyer about it. There are some cards that I have that you can give to anybody that may be subject to being approached by ICE as to what their rights and responsibilities are. So if any of you want to talk to me about it, I'll stay around a little bit after the meeting, but it is not an attempt to get yourself involved in the actual process. It is a document and report activity, very well organized.
Barbara.
Next Thursday, the 22nd, which is Washington's birthday, is the Cloverdale Choir Feed. That's the Sonoma County Association of Rotary Clubs meeting. And if anybody else wants to go, I'm driving, and so far I have Natalie and David coming with me, so I've got room for 2 more in my car.
Hey, Barbara.
Yes.
Put me down.
Okie dokie. Goody. That makes another one. And I know Bruce and Elaine are going, so we'll have a good contingent. This is a social meeting. All you do is go up, say hello to people, have fun, and eat crap.
Other announcements from the floor. Patrick.
Yes, he is. On April 14th, we have one table for 10 at the Guerneville Bingo with the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. So we have a full table, but if we had others there, I think it's going to be an incredible time to support that community out there and have one rockin' time. So, like I said, we have 10 already at the table, but if you're interested, April 14th, let me know and I can help you make arrangements.
How many folks have been to a Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence bingo event? It is a wild time. Hang on to your hats and everything else. And be prepared to be offended and have a good time. Oh yeah. Or almost anything else that will bring notice to you, right? Yeah. But it's a hell of a good time. Other announcements? In that case,
yeah, no.
I'm sorry, Bill, I So a couple of things. Number one, I want to talk about the Rites at Spring, spelled R-I-T-E-S, on March 23rd, which is our fundraiser. But before I do want to alert the people, everyone here, all members, to the fact that we will have a district training assembly on April 7th, I believe it is, in Santa Rosa. And I want to direct particular attention of my board and members of that board for next year that it would be very, very good, and I would ask you to think seriously about attending that training assembly, because Barbara Spengler, our district governor-elect, has decided to put teams together, individual clubs together at that assembly to help us train and prepare for our year. So I think it will be a real good opportunity for us to get together and talk a little bit about what we want to accomplish and how we want to do that. The second thing that I want to talk about, obviously, is the Rites of Spring fundraiser. And I just want to tell you that we have been meeting Gail and Lori Darling and Terry Kelly and Bill Sauber and Nikki Larson. We've been meeting for 2 or 3 weeks, and they've just been doing a wonderful job, my team. And I want to thank you very much, Gail and Lori and everyone else for doing that, and Terry. Gail is putting together a wonderful roster of live auction items, as is Lori for the silent auction. We're going to have a downbeat poll winner, Will Blades there, jazz and funk, to provide music. We're having theater being provided by the drama departments at El Molino and Alley and other quarters as well. So it should be a real spring festival with ancient and modern roots. It should be a lot of fun. And only $50. $50 for a full feast and entertainment night and of having fun and raising money for the community. Yeah, Nick.
When are the tickets available?
Are they, Brown Paper Tickets, is that link working now?
Brown Paper Tickets link is working.
Online.
Online, and so we can send that out to everybody this morning. And so you had that to forward to friends, and also the flyer has a PDF. So if you get the PDF, you can send it out, they can catch on that. I think we're trying to encourage people to put together tables of 10, 5 couples around our tables. And we can also, I think we're going to print a handful of tickets for us to have to go out and sell. But we are looking for members to sell probably 4 tickets.
So, as I say, Gail and Lori and Terry and Nikki and Bill, we've all been working on this, and much of it has been organized. There will be, and the main thing that we would like you to do is to just show up and have fun with us, and we would also like you to invite people that you know that would be interested in this, because it's a deal and it's a lot of fun, and it's getting together as a community to raise money for schools and charity. So I'm not sure. There will be some things for people to do, right?
Oh, yes.
And we are going to ask you, we're going to have some invitations that we're going to want you to send to your friends. It's very important. It's a fundraiser. We'll restoke or replenish the coffers here for the community. So there's that. Thank you, and onward upward.
What is the dress code, people will ask? Tuxedos.
No, it's semi-formal. It's not tuxedos or anything. You know, it's sort of a dress-up thing. We've been telling people that, you know, if you feel so inclined, togas and other sort of spring-like costumes would not be discouraged if you want. But it will be semi-formal. It's going to be very nice. Tablecloths, round tables, party favors, and sit-down dinner. I haven't decided yet, but Larry's going to be providing a table. Do you want to say a few words about some of the auction items you put together, Gail? Gail has just been doing a wonderful job, and I think the people who would be invited probably should be aware of the fact of the job that Gail is doing in the auction items she's already gathered.
I'm pretty excited about them. I will, though, comment if I can that I do need, if someone would like us, you don't have to step forward this minute, but if someone would like to be willing to put together a wine country weekend, we do have another club who's willing to exchange auction items with us. But I would want somebody in the club to take responsibility for putting together the, wine tasting, finding, all that stuff. So you can call me or email me.
Where is it other club?
Arcata.
Arcata. And they have a nice exchange. It's just a case of I don't personally want to be the one coordinating it because I have enough on my plate. So I was thinking of Jim Plum, maybe putting it together for me with your neighbor. So, just to tantalize you a bit, we have the weekend in Palm Springs that will include golf, a place to stay, fancy restaurants, and there's a possibility that we'll actually have a private jet to take people there and bring them back. So, that's kind of exciting. We have a Kentucky Derby party that I'm very excited about that Barbara's putting together that'll be out at the Santa Rosa Jet Center.
Can you send me these and I can prepare a slide so we can have a visual for next week?
I would be glad to. I had said I wouldn't be ready to fully reveal them until next week.
Perfect.
So, but by next week I'll have the full list. We're going to hopefully have a star party for the summer solstice. So there are a lot of really fun things, exciting things. The one thing I have not been able to do, John Boletto no longer can get the sports tickets for us. So if somebody here has a connection for sports tickets, I would really like it. Thank you.
Thank you. And another very brief announcement by Linton before we get our speaker up on time. Come on.
I would like volunteers for the Vocalize Your Vocation. If you want to raise your hand or just come to me, that's speaking for 2 or 3 minutes at the meeting about your career and aspirations and all that.
If you don't volunteer, you're going to get picked anyway, so.